The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's looking up new customers. Play just $5. Get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Know me, you know the voice of the guys. Me, really, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service.
How about if you sweep it out?
What's the point? I can't do anything right.
You'll do fine.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
Yeah, I mean, golly, I feel like I can't get nothing right. I feel like it's been very, very inconsistent over the past week or so of where I have a read looking at, and maybe I just need to reevaluate some of these things. Maybe the Cavs have figured it out and they've jumped the next step because they did get the win and the cover over the Phoenix Suns. I had Suns plus 6.5 last night. Suns were competitive in that game, and the Cavs just ultimately, pulled away as the game went on. And then the Pelicans not being able to keep up with the Bulls. No Kobe White, no Josh Giddey, wasn't able to keep up at all. So, yeah, a couple of bad reads, but it was other things that went right, like the Hawks without Trae Young dominating the Minnesota Timberwolves. That should have been my dog. Like, when I was watching the game, I was like, how did I not make the Hawks my dog? Like, this is literally no Trae Young. Jalen Johnson's in the game. The Hawks look amazing, and they beat the Timberwolves so bad that Ant goes into the locker room early. Like, that's how bad that they whooped them. Ant's going into the locker room early. Just missed opportunity. Huge missed opportunity there. Pretty big missed opportunity in Fate and the Bucks laying a big number as well, but huge missed opportunity with the Atlanta Hawks. Very disappointed in myself. I deserve everything bad coming towards me. Got the nerd Lonte Smith here with me. Lonte, what's going on?
How much, man? Got an early number with the Spurs and didn't have to worry about that Jalen Brunson 3, so that was good. But yeah, wrong read.
Yeah, 2.5, 3.5. Yikes. Yikes.
One of the benefits of doing the show a little bit earlier, got that 1.5. But yeah, it actually was some good action. I mean, you got the CJ game winner. I thought some of my reads were off.
Yo, CJ just threw up a prayer. Like, the way that I'm not gonna consider that game winner ever, because I swear CJ was just throwing up a prayer to hit.
Yeah, and I mean Denver got it done. I probably should have took them as my dog. I was a little bit more confident in them. But yeah, man, it was actually some good action. The games didn't look good on paper, but it was some good action.
The Magic, like the Pacers, back in the game. I mean, just it was some things we were right about, and just wrong picks. So I got to make the right picks today. It's just simple as that. Make the right picks, and that's how we start 2026. Welcome to 2026. We're here. Let's go ahead. Day one of, is it 365 or is it 366 this year? I think it's 365. It's not a leap year, is it? Somebody let me know if it's a leap year. That's all I'm trying to remember. All right. Let's get to it. Before we do that, though, we got to talk about where you can get all of our picks and podcasts. We do the NBA gambling podcast. We have our hockey experts doing the hockey gambling podcast. We got our baseball experts along with Lonte doing the MLB gambling podcast. That's going to actually start up in a couple months. You know, the season's right there around the corner yet again. So, hey, make sure you go check out all the different podcasts, get the picks, all of that over there in the SGPN app. Just download it for free or type in your app store SGPN and you will get it for free. All right. Lonte, let's get to it. Short slate today. 5 games on a New Year's Day. Maybe a little more focus into the college football playoff games going today, but hey, we might be able to get some action. We're starting off a little bit earlier than we're used to. 6 p.m. on the East Coast. We have the Houston Rockets traveling to Brooklyn to play the Brooklyn Nets. Nets are catching 11.5 here against the Rockets. 218.5 is total. A little bit of an inverse of records here. Rockets 20-10, Nets 10-20. injury report for these two teams. And let's get that up real quick. It looks like for the Houston Rockets, we have Alperen Sengun, questionable. He did miss that last game. Tari Eason's questionable. Steven Adams is questionable. Clint Capella's questionable. For Brooklyn, got a questionable tag on Michael Porter Jr. and Terrence Mann today. Dedham is out. So interesting. We'll see what the news is with Michael Porter Jr. That's going to be a really big loss if he's not playing. I think Alperen Sengun is a pretty big loss for the Rockets as well if he doesn't end up going in this game as well. But we got a revenge game of KD playing the Nets yet again in Brooklyn. What are you doing here, Lonte?
Yeah, you know what? This is kind of a game that I'm kind of waiting to see because, Michael Porter Jr. obviously being out is a big deal. He's averaging like around 26 or something like that in the past few weeks. So I want to wait for him, but I do think that the Nets can hang a little bit early on. I mean, they got to protect the paint, which is something they haven't been doing. They allowed, I think, 66 points in the paint in the first meeting against Houston. And we know that's what Houston's, that's where their bread is buttered. They also were outscored 56-30 in the paint in their last game. I forgot who they played. But, Michael Porter Jr. is a big piece to that. I mean, he rebounds well for his position. The Nets are playing good. I mean, they're 6-4 ATS the last 10. They've won 3 of the last 5 straight up. Defensively, they're playing a lot better. And, Houston's, they're winning games, but they're not covering. They're 3-7 ATS the last 10. KD's going for back-to-back 30-point game, or back-to-back 30-point games. He's got 2 in a row. So that'll be interesting to see if he can get that. He hasn't done that this year. He hasn't done that in a couple years, actually. So I'm looking at Brooklyn early. I would look at first quarter, first half, and then maybe Houston to kind of take control later in the game. But I kind of want to wait for Michael Porter Jr. to his injury designation because if he's out, I'm taking a team total under for sure, 100%.
I am, well, if he's out, there's not a number that you could give me on Cam Thomas that would be high enough. Yeah, I think I'm gonna definitely be on Nets first half and say the Nets are in this game very early. They've been playing very, very good defensively. We talked about it with Scott. They're the number one defensive rated team in the month of December, and so shout out to Jordy Fernandez and the coaching that he's been able to do there, and just how they shore up that side of the ball. And then, I mean, adding Cam Thomas, if Michael Porter Jr. is able to go, like they have a legit offensive scoring duo that can then apply pressure and they'll free things up for everybody else. And that's kind of how they've been playing their ball. They haven't been getting the best offense, but the guys that can score have been scoring, and that's been Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Thomas. So it'd be really big if MPJ didn't go in this game. I think so. But we talked about it the last time we played when it was the Rockets and the Pacers, and the Rockets were laying 15.5. And I was like, man, just a little bit too many points, like a little too many points here for the Houston Rockets. And just what I know for them to do, they typically play closer games, especially against good teams. They find ways to lose those games. Coming off of the holiday, yeah, give me the Nets plus the points here. I'm going to continue to stick with this Brooklyn team that's been playing well. They've been playing teams close. They've kind of wavered here, there, but they've been very, very solid. And Houston, this is just a little bit too far up expectation. Wouldn't be surprised if Houston still muscled out a win here, but I think it's too many points. So, all right, 218.5 is the total. I would go under.
Team total under versus full game under. I mean, I think Houston should be able to control the glass. They don't have a ton of depth interior for Brooklyn. And, I mean, Sengun's supposed to be back. I mean, he missed the last 2. So I read that he was supposed to come back, but obviously he's still, got that questionable tag.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's back, I mean, I don't see a world where they, don't score 45, 50 points in the paint against this team. So, and I don't think, Brooklyn's capable of knocking down threes to kind of respect the defense, and they'll just pack it in and kind of force them to shoot it. So, yeah, I would go with the Brooklyn team total under.
All right. Let's see here. Next game up, we are going to the 7 p.m. window. The Miami Heat on the road going to play the Detroit Pistons. Pistons laying 4.5, 235.5 is total injury report. And we have for the Miami Heat, it looks like Fontecchio, questionable. Larson out. Hero out. Detroit, Tobias Harris, doubtful. Karis LeVert, out. Well, flowchart game for those that like to follow along with me telling you how this is supposed to go. The Miami Heat are playing basketball. Okay, check. Are the Miami Heat a dog or a favorite? Oh, they're a dog. Bet. Take the Miami Heat. 11-5-1 ATS this season as a dog. I've talked to you and saying to you the praises all the time of you take Miami as a dog, you fade them as a favorite. It's just a pretty simple, easy way to bet the Miami Heat. I do like them in this spot because I think that there will be some issues on the bench for the Detroit Pistons here today. They got a pretty solid game from Marcus Sasser, I believe it was last time out, but I think Karis LeVert kind of takes away that certainty that they had on the bench, and JB Bickerstaff is kind of just rolling his guys out there, seeing, hey, is anybody going to play well, and can we roll with a hot hand here? It was Marcus Sasser last game. We'll see if they find one this game. I just don't think it'll be as consistent as this Miami Heat team that, I mean, they're going to score. They're going to put up points. They're going to go run fast, and they're going to try to go score up and down the court all the whole time. They've got that new offense, and they're putting up close to 120 points per game. I think that this is one of the games where, hey, the Miami Heat's tempo kind of really makes a factor here. This Detroit team is not afraid to play fast with you. They're not afraid to go up to speed up the pace and play to the tempo that you're willing to play to. And I think that's going to play right into Miami Heat's hands here on the road, where they're actually a really solid road team. They are 9-6-1 this season, ATS on the road. So Heat is a dog. You didn't have to sell me too much. I'm taking Miami Heat plus 4.5. Sprinkle on the money line. As much as I love my Detroit Pistons, they got to lose games here or there. Best game to lose is when you're playing the Miami Heat as a dog. So I'm going to sprinkle on that plus 170 money line as well. Lonte, what do you like here?
Yeah, so the side is a little bit tricky for me. I kind of stayed away, but I would go with the Miami side if I had to bet it. But I mean, I think you set it up for the over. I love the over. These teams both scored 135 plus back in November whenever they played. Detroit was a 3.5 point dog on the road, and they won by 3. So I mean, that's a big total that well, they surpassed that total with a big output, big offensive output, but. I mean, Detroit's back home after 5 straight on the road. That's typically kind of a fade spot for me. I like to fade teams who are coming off a long road trip, be back at home. They'll play 9 of the next 11 on the road, so that's beneficial for them to keep that top seed in the East because they're really good at home. But I mean, I think Miami is everything that you said. They're a fast-paced team. Spo was talking about how they want to play even faster just because of the way that they've had success with it. They're currently on a 3-game win streak, 138.3 points per game in that stretch. Powell's averaging about 24 during the win streak. They're 4-1 ATS last 5. Like them as a dog. Yeah, but it would be just over for me. I would take the Heat if I had to, but thankfully we don't have to. But I like the over. I like the over a lot.
All right. Before we get to the next 3 games on the slate, got to talk to you about Kalshi. Partner up with a real money prediction market that is Kalshi, legal in all 50 states. You can trade a tons of different sports. You can trade NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and more. Plus, you can do stuff that's not sports. You can do politics, entertainment. Go bet on the Oscars or the Emmys or something like that. Grammys, don't matter. Hell, you can even do the weather. So make sure you go lock in with Kalshi. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. That is KALSHI. Kalshi. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog. Shout out to Underdog, where you can win up to 5,000 times your pick'em entry over there with Underdog Fantasy. Hey, all you got to do is pick higher or lower in your favorite player's fantasy stats, except Cat. And then, boom, Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. You can play $5, get $75 in bonus funds when you use sign-up code, promo code NBASGPN. That is promo code NBASGPN over there at UnderdogFantasy.com. All right, Lonte, next game on the slate. We've got the Philadelphia 76ers on the road going to play the Dallas Mavericks. Philly's laying 2.5 on the road here. 230.5 is the total injury report for these two teams. And we have Joel Embiid is probable to go play today. Kelly Oubre is out. You have Derek Lively still out for the Dallas Mavericks. All right, look like you're gonna see AD versus Joel Embiid today for what, maybe a combined 5 to 10 minutes of action, possibly, maybe more. We'll see. Lonte, what are you doing here?
Yeah, a little bit of a homecoming for Maxi. We talked about some homecomings last night, and I thought they went well. I mean, Ant had 30, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they didn't get the win, but he played well. 76 are one of the best road ATS teams in the league. I think they're like 11-5-1 or something like that, but they've been really good on the road. This will be their fourth straight road game. They have lost 3 or 5 straight up, but I think it's a good matchup for them, especially with Dallas, the way they've been struggling 1-4 straight up and ATS the last 5. Um, I think that the guard play will be something that they can dictate, especially with Maxi, VJ. Um, I think the thing with Dallas is that whenever they play good athletic athletic guards, they really struggle a little bit, similar to what the Lakers do with wings. So when they face those dynamic guards like Maxi, like VJ, they typically struggle, and I think that's going to be the case here. I mean, Philly won 121-114 as a 1.5 point favorite back in December at home. They didn't have Joel or PG in that game. I think we see a similar score here, about 120 to 115 ish. So I like Philly here.
Let's see. I kind of, the spidey senses are tingling. Something doesn't feel right about taking Philly today. As much as I do love this Philly team and how good they are ATS, 10-3-1 ATS on the road is actually almost unfadable. To be that good on the road, covering against teams and getting it done, it's almost unfadable, especially when you got a spot, but with the Dallas Mavericks at home, not historically the best home team, to be honest. They're 9-9 straight up this season. I think my concern is the random Dallas get up game. Like, you have this Dallas team that is clearly not as bad as they're portraying themselves to be this season, and they randomly kind of get themselves up, pull themselves up for a game. I think Philly defensively gives me a little cause for concern right now, where I seen that, hey, Memphis was able to push the pace, get the points total up, score. You play that with the Anthony Davis game of Anthony Davis just going out and having a game. Because, I mean, who's going to really stop him? I don't think Joel Embiid is going to be able to slow down Anthony Davis in this version of Joel Embiid as he is right now. Don't really think they have the options to slow him down. So, like, if Anthony Davis does go out here and play and have a really good game, it makes things so much easier on the Dallas Mavericks, especially in this spot. And as much as I love Philly, and I really do, something's telling me that it's kind of a weird little Dallas game here. They're going to get up for this game at home. So reluctantly, I'm going to take Dallas. Even though I do think Philly's the better team, it just feels like, one, I'm not optimistic about Joel Embiid's output here today. And I think Paul George sucks and he's a cancer and he's going to take the team. So if you add both of those things together, I don't know if Maxi and VJ can be able to overcome that. So feels like a little weird spot where the Dallas Mavericks are going to be able to put up points for me. And if they're able to put up points, I think they'll be in the game. So I like the over 230.5 more. Both teams have been struggling defensively. I think that's something that I would really consider, playing over 230.5. I think that's rather conservative for these two teams that can allow anybody to put up 120 on them any given night. But I'm going to go to the opposite side of you. I'm going to say Dallas plus 2.5. Ooh, let's see. Anything else in that one? What you like on the total?
The total is kind of tricky, to be honest with you, because the tempo for Philly is completely different when Joel's on the floor than when he's not on the floor. So I haven't been having a lot of success with their totals. If I had to, I would go under. And the Mavericks want to obviously play slow. Philly don't mind playing slow, but whenever they have the 3-guard lineup out there, whenever Embiid's on the bench, they play a little bit faster. So I would probably play under, thinking that the pace is dictated by both big men with AD and Joel being there for the most part. So it would be under. Not it's not really a big opinion.
All right. Let's see. Next game up. Boston Celtics on the road going to play the Sacramento Kings. Will the Kings like the beam? I don't think so. Boston's laying 9.5. 227.5 is total. Injury report. And we have Zach LaVine's out. Sabonis is out. And nothing. Nothing to report there for the Boston Celtics. Clean injury report. Oh yeah, I mean this is probably just going to be me fading the Kings again, but let's hear your argument, Lonte. You getting laying 9.5 with Boston on the road here.
Yeah, I would lay it. I mean, Celtics playing like one of the best teams in the league right now. Just the way that Jalen's been playing. I mean, Jalen's averaging 31.9. Well, he would average 31.9 in December. He tied the franchise record with 9 straight 30-point games. I think he fell just short last game. But Derek White's been amazing as well. I mean, he had a 27.7 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 block game. And he's averaging about 22, 5, and 5 rebounds and 1.8 blocks. He hit 53s in the month. So, like, those two guys are playing at a really high level. I don't know if Sacramento obviously has the capability to stop those guys. They're typically locked in and focused for games like this. They don't really play down to the level of competition as much this year as they have been recently. This is their 4th straight road game. They're 10-7 ATS on the road. They're 6-4 ATS overall. Sacramento's one of the worst home ATS teams in the league, 5-10 ATS. They've lost 12 of 15. I mean, I would expect them to kind of blow up their team in the next like month or so. So I don't really see a ton of bright spots for them, except for their rookies. I mean, Maxime Reynaud, who's been playing really well. He's averaging 11-6 in 25 games. Nick Clifford had a pretty good game as well. So I mean, this rookie class is ridiculous. These two guys aren't even being talked about, and they're playing well. So I like Boston here. I would look at the team total over as well. Just Utah's not. I mean, not Utah. Sacramento's not going to play a ton of defense either. So I would look at the team total over, and I like Boston laying at 9.5.
All right. One, Sacramento has not been good guarding the 3. That's going to be a big issue with Boston. So let's start there. They're really not good at guarding anything. I think the best thing that they had going for them is the fact that they can rebound the ball with like Sabonis and Westbrook. And, they got some guys that are willing to go in there and do the grunt work. But, I mean, when you just have a devoid of talent and the fact that you no idea what you're doing at the coaching position, no idea what you're doing with the roster, you question if the team even looks better or not with Levine out. Like, it's just, I don't see it. I am very hard pressed to see a reason to take the Sacramento Kings any given night. And so, with that being said, they lost the Clipper Bowl where I had to pick between the Kings and the Clippers. They got destroyed. I'm going to do the same thing. Give me the Celtics, lay 9.5. Very, very chalk play here by both of us, but this Sacramento Kings team is just horrible. Like, they don't defend. They can't score. Like, so if you can't defend and you can't score, like, look at this. The last 10 games, they're giving up 120 points per game. They're scoring 106 in 10 games, averaging 106 points per game. Like, you're not going to win games like that. You're not even going to be competitive in games like that. So, with that being said, we're both on the Celtics laying the big chalk. All right, let's see if this gets one more play before the end of the show here, because we have the Utah Jazz on the road. Dear God. Going to play Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers are laying 12.5 here. 232.5 is the total. Injury report, we got Lauri Markkanen questionable, Keontae George questionable, Yusuf Nurkic is out, Ace Bailey is out, Kevin Love is out, Georges Niang is out. For the Clippers, Bogdan Bogdanovic is out, Zubac out. Bradley Beal, you just crack me up every time I see your name on this injury report, because how did you get yourself hurt for the entirety of the season? All right. Well, the Clippers have been playing better basketball, so maybe the Clippers aren't in absolute fade anymore. They've won what, 5 straight, covered 7 of their last 10, made themselves somewhat respectable since they won 6 straight. No, 5 straight. It's 5 straight because they were 6 and whatever when Ty Lue called them out, and they ripped off a bunch of wins. Kawhi Leonard's been playing great, and they get a gift in playing the Utah Jazz here on the road. 5-8 on the road this season. ATS 4-9 straight up. Hasn't been the best, most competitive hoops here for those two teams. This would be a revenge game from the first game of the year where the Utah Jazz welcome the Clippers into town and they smacked them. The Clippers could not keep up with Utah in that game. Plus 9.5 for Utah at home. They were able to get done. I do believe it is a contrast of styles here, where you have the youth movement playing fast of Utah going up against the slow, steady old guys of the Clippers. And that always is something where I always tend to lean towards the actual what is it? Youth and speed and pace side of the ball. But Utah's on the road, and I have a system. I don't take the Utah on the road. And here are the Clippers. They're only at 7.5. That's a huge number. I actually don't think I still want to even take the Clippers at that number. But they did cover 9.5 against the Kings last time out, so I guess I can give them credit for that. Lonte, what are you doing?
Yeah, I love the Clippers here, man. I think they're doing the thing that they typically do every year under Ty Lue. They struggle early on, people wondering what's going on. Do they need to trade somebody? Do they need to blow it up? And then they go on streaks like this to bring everybody back in to be like, are they kind of title contenders? I mean, they're on fire right now. I mean, 7-3 ATS. They've covered 5 in a row. Defense has been the calling card. That's what's turned it around. They've held their last 5 opponents under 110 points. 3 of those 5 opponents under 100. So I think that's what it starts with. And you talk about the pace. That's something that I really like in this game. I think they're going to force Utah walk the ball up, try to limit that athleticism for those young guys. Kawhi's averaging about 37.8 during their win streak, so he's been on fire. This is probably going to bleed into like my lock. I love the Utah team total under 109.5. I don't think they'll be able to score 110. Not on this Clipper defense the way they've been playing. So give me the team total under, and I like Clippers as well.
Uh, all right, let's see. I really, I really don't want to lay that big of a number with the Clippers, even if it is against Utah. Injury report is probably going to be the thing. No, I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to let us play the chalk zone drop for the Clippers. I'm sorry. I will take the L if it happens, and I will take Utah. One, because I'm perfectly fine fading the Clippers. Keontae George and Lauri Markkanen are still questionable. If those two guys do play, that will be a huge boost for them. I think they still can be able to play the way they want to play. But if those guys are out, then yeah, it probably will be Clippers by a million. If even one of those guys are out, it might still be Clippers by a million. But I like the opportunity here. Too many points. Utah loses by 10. They don't get a win on the road because they're not good enough on the road, but they lose by 10. So scrappy Utah team keeps it a little close. I just didn't want us to both be on the same side of the Clippers team. No way. All right. Let's get into actual lock and dog picks here. But before we do that, got to make sure I talk to you about Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. You know, you're getting the best prices on the market with Novig. They have reduced juice on a whole bunch of different bets. You know, something that is normally minus 110 might be even money over there on Novig. So make sure you go shop your lines, check them out. Download the Novig app, get $50 when you spend $5 when you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. They've crushed the NFL this season with those unders. College basketball has been going. The NBA, you know, we're still rolling over there with Rhythm. It's super easy to sign up, and you can run your prediction models off of the house models, or you can make your own models and move the sliders. And if you like defense or you like offense or you like pace and fouls, whatever it may be, you can go create your own models and go cash in with Rhythm. So Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right. Whoo. Lock and dog, Lonte. Let's go.
Under 109.5. If you can find a 110.5, it's like a couple out there, but just shop around. It's more 109.5, so we'll take that. So under 109.5 total points for the Utah Jazz against the Clippers. For the dog, I'm gonna go plus 205. The Brooklyn Nets first quarter. I think they come out and play well early on, and
Wow.
then the depth, the size of Houston's interior with their big men. I think they take over the game late. So let's go 205 for the first quarter with the Brooklyn Nets.
That is not what I was expecting. Okay. Lock. No, locking up Boston is never good. Yeah, locking up Boston is never good. Well, I know I'm playing Miami in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, I do like the over in that Philly and Dallas game. Both of them two teams have been horrible defensively recently. So give me Philly, Dallas over 230.5. That is my lock. For my dog, it'll be Miami plus 170 on the money line. Get it done against the Detroit Pistons. The Miami Heat, so effective as a dog. I expect them to come through for me in what should be a very, very good game here as they punch up with one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference right now. All right, underdog. Those might be some good fades for you because I've been horrible recently, by the way. But underdog, let's go over here. Lonte, what do we like?
Yeah, I thought about making this my best my lock. I like Tyrese Maxey higher PRA. I think he's gonna have a phenomenal day back home in Dallas. So, yeah, I like him a lot in this spot, especially with the poor perimeter defense that the Mavericks have against guards of his stature. So,
All right. So we got Tyrese Maxey higher, 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Let's see here. Who else do we want to throw out here?
I mean, I like Derek White threes. Talk about the Kings' ability to not be able to guard the 3-point line. That's one of those things that'll show up. Even Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard, any of those guys with threes higher is fine with me.
Let's see. What's the 3-pointers made for Boston? Because Sacramento has been pretty bad. Pritchard's at 2.5. Hauser's at 1.5. Pritchard's got some juice at. I don't really like the juice on Pritchard's 2.5. I feel like we can do better. Kawhi is an option. He's been good. Let's go back to that Philly and Dallas game. Maybe we need to get something else from over there. I do like Tyrese Maxey. Expect to see points in that one. Wow. I'm really not married to many props here, honestly. Is there a Cam Thomas? Let's see if there's a Cam Thomas. 17.5 higher. What? With a questionable tag on Mike Porter Jr.? I'll blindly take Cam Thomas to go score today. So I think he can walk in 20. And then you said Derek White.
Yeah, his three is probably like 3.5, I think.
Yeah, there's no juice there either. I can do Derek White. I can sell myself on that. All right. Yeah. This looks obscure enough to hit. Cam Thomas higher 17.5 points. Tyrese Maxey higher 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And Derek White higher 3.5 3-pointers made. At that underdog, shake it up. You're going to get 6x, $100. Get you $600 over there. Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use those promo code NBA SGPN. Lonte, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
That's about it, man.
All right. With that, he's at XX Lonte XX. I'm at really real __. Make sure you give us a follow. Enjoy your new year. Make sure you go do those resolutions, all those things you're supposed to do. Make sure you have a very happy new year. We will be back later tonight, actually, with the episode for Friday. So make sure that you go and tap into that. about 9 o'clock. Let's just go ahead and put it about 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll be back here talking about the games for Friday. With that, that is it. I have nothing